I believe it's time to get started with this event. Sandra, is everybody ready? Everybody in the room?
Not yet.
Give it a couple of minutes.
Maybe, yeah, 2 or 3 more minutes.
Okay. So I'm a bit excited, so maybe we can start. May I, Sandra?
The floor is yours, Philippe.
The floor is mine. Okay, perfect. So let's get started. Welcome everybody to this well overdue event on probably the most used Oracle technology in the Belgian-Luxembourg market, besides the Oracle database, Oracle Forms. Move and improve Oracle Forms. This live webinar will guide you through the different possibilities and the future that you might have as customer and partners. Before we get started, some practical things. Normally everybody's muted, except for the speakers, I hope. We do allow questions, so please put your questions into the Q&A section. After each speaker, we will tackle the questions concerning the topic of that speaker. And at the end of the event itself, we will have 15 minutes of Q&A, so time enough to get all your questions answered by then. We'll also record this event, so you can play it back afterwards. We'll probably share it on our own website. You will get an email about that, and we will also share the presentation, of course. So let's get started. First of all, who is Contribute? We are a Belgian consultancy firm, part of the Kronos Group, and our market is based in Belgium and Luxembourg. And we are a consultancy firm focusing on custom application development based on Oracle technologies. And we guide our customers from idea to execution to support and maintenance. And all these topics will be handled also for the product Oracle Forms today in this session. So keep on listening. Our services, starting from application development, something we started with many years ago, And today we do also integration. And with integration, of course, we have architecture design. And nowadays, everything is cloud-based or semi-hybrid cloud-based. So cloud transformations from on-prem to cloud, from other clouds to multi-cloud, etc., are also part of our offerings. And because every project needs some persons who look after the budget, look after the planning, we'll also have a very large PMO section, people helping us getting the project on time in place with our customers. We do all this for the following services. So we have for many years a big Oracle expertise going from the PL SQL to Forms, Oracle Apex, Oracle ADF. But nowadays we see that a lot of our customers are also using other technologies to run on their Oracle platform to extend their Oracle applications, being Spring, being Java, being .NET, but also JavaScript functionalities, JavaScript frameworks like Oracle Jet, Angular, React, Node.js, for example. And we had some couple students doing some Svelte development within our internship this year. So very nice to see that also these frameworks, these solutions gain traction in the market and allowing us to build newer solutions for our customers and partners. Like we said before, nowadays everything is about cloud. Well, also Oracle has took the road to cloud and have some cloud native solutions, being a Visual Builder cloud service, a Process cloud service, and digital assistant and chatbots. About these three topics, we'll have a more in-depth session at the end of this seminar. So stay tuned if you want to know more about these products, these solutions for you. And everything is covered with our managed services. So independently, which solution you have taken, going from Oracle Forms to database to Apex to ADF, Java, JavaScript frameworks, even digital assistant, will have a management solution around it. So you don't have any headaches about running it into the cloud, running it hybrid with your environment and stuff like that. All SLS-based monitoring, incident handling, service desk 27, and more. More on that later on in this seminar also. Now I'd like to present to you the three presenters of today. With great pleasure, I present to you Thomas van Biggenhout, who is an Oracle consultant, and he will present himself to you. He will guide us through on how to take your Oracle Forms application and run it into the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. Everything around that, every possibility, even if you want to just have a peek look at the new functionality of the newest Oracle Forms edition, all these topics will come into play. Once you're in the Oracle Cloud infrastructure, you probably will see that there are a lot more technologies at your presence, and there Olivier Maurice, our second speaker, will guide you through the different possibilities and also give you a hint how you can have peace of mind running into the Oracle Cloud, where we can help you to make sure that everything is running correctly, securely, and where you don't need any problems aside. Once in the Oracle Cloud, perhaps you want to see a bit further, a bit broader in your horizon with other technologies, more cloud-based technologies. Well, there I will ending this seminar with some viewpoints on new technologies being presented in the cloud, which you can use to build new solutions for your customers, for your intern departments, for example, and we'll see what they can bring to the table for you as a customer. So with this said, I'd like to give the word to Thomas to start his session on moving Oracle Forms to the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. Thomas?
Thank you, Philip. Let me see if I took over the screen right. I believe so. Yeah. So thank you, Philip. Yeah, small introduction from my side. My name is Thomas van Biggenhout. I'm a technology architect in the Oracle ISV ecosystem in the Benelux. We've been working together with Contribute already for a few successful projects on OCI and out of OCI. I got 21 years of experience with Oracle products, mainly focused on database development and on cloud. Today I will be covering a few points. Statement of direction of Oracle Forms and Oracle Reports. Where are we headed? Where are we going to? And how does Oracle see things going in the future? I'll be quickly going over some new features, the most important ones. And after that, I will show the possibilities of moving Oracle Forms to OCI. It will include a demo of the Oracle Forms service offering that we have on the marketplace of the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. And after that, I will go over a high-level overview on how you can create your own marketplace listing on OCI. So the first topic I want to cover was the state of direction. This is an official statement also, which can be viewed on the Oracle website in the link which I have included. The most important thing is that the Oracle has no plans of discontinuing Oracle Forms. Oracle Forms 12.2.1.4 is now the latest release. We continue to manage our major releases as we did in the past. So each major release, we offer 5 years of premium support and 3 years of extended support. And then 12 to 18 months before the end of the premium support, we try to bring out a new version. This is still the plan forward. Where are we now? At the moment, we are about 2 years until the end of the premium support of 12.2.1.4. That means that a new release is planned on early 2022. This is of course planning. If we would not make that planning, the current support for 12.2.1.4 will be adjusted accordingly. We continue to investigate on what the possibilities are for the cloud offer of Oracle Forms, and we believe that for ISVs and other software providers, of course, it's an easy and cheap solution. We see Oracle Forms as a rapid application development that doesn't use with a Java development. And for ISVs, that's easier and it costs less to develop your own application. For Oracle reports, the statement of direction is quite a bit different, as we now see Oracle BI Publisher as the new strategic product for enterprise reporting. The current release is 12.2.1.3, and we do not plan to have new functionality enhancements in that release. The premium supports will end at 2022 in August. Extended support will continue until 2025. But therefore, we do suggest our customers and ISVs to re-implement your reports in BI Publisher. Of course, we do this in a friendly manner and ask you to do that on your own pace. There is no planning or there's no plan to force any migration. So we just ask you to reconsider the implementation of your enterprise reporting towards BI Publisher. All this while you continue to get extended support for the current release. New features. Basically, new features are also published in the Oracle website on the link I've posted here. There's a few new features available. For instance, the BI Publisher integration, single sign-out, meaning that all forms created in a same session at sign-out, you will sign out of all those forms simultaneously. There's some new system events, but many more. There's a lot of features listed in that documentation. But one of the main or one of the most important new features that we have for Oracle Forms, and this looking at the integration towards Oracle Cloud, is that we also now offer support for autonomous database. This both on a dedicated architecture and a shared architecture. For the future releases, our product management is really approachable, and sometimes they hint new features on social media, like the Twitter account I have posted here for you. So if you're interested in new features coming in the future releases, feel free to go on Twitter and look at the product management for Oracle Forms. They will hint you on any new features that they are working on. Then the main topic actually of today is bringing Oracle Forms to cloud. There are 3 ways of doing that. The first way, the first implementation that you can do is that you install Oracle Forms yourselves on infrastructure as a service. This is on an empty virtual machine or bare metal machine, so that you still need to do the installation yourself. Although from Oracle Belgium, in Oracle Belgium, we do have some specialists who have created some scripts. We can make those available also. They can help you provision on the infrastructure as a service. The scripts are also available for auto scaling, and they allow the forms to connect to either an autonomous database or a database cloud system. As it is infrastructure as a service, this only comes with a bring your own license model. So that means on-prem licenses for forms, you already need to have on-prem licenses for forms, or you need buy licenses, on-prem licenses, which you then can bring to the cloud. A second way of moving Oracle to the Oracle Forms to the cloud is to use the marketplace image. This is the one I will be demoing soon. There's 2 versions available. It's the 12.2.1.3 and the 12.2.1.4. It's real fast provisioning. It does not have the possibility yet to connect to autonomous database, but you can connect to the database clouds, to any database cloud system that you already provisioned in your tenancy. Again, the same as the infrastructure as a service, this only comes with a bring your own license model. But the third way that we have to move your Oracle Forms to cloud is to install Oracle Forms on top of the WebLogic suite for OCI Terraform stack. So we have another marketplace offering for WebLogic. We actually have several, but the support for Oracle Forms on those stacks is possible on the WebLogic suite for OCI stack. You still need to install Oracle Forms separately on top of it, but it has a very good advantage because you can either choose for the bring your own license model. So if you already have the licenses for WebLogic suite, or you can go for the or you can go for the universal cloud model. What does that mean? It means that the licenses as well as the infrastructure are metered. So if you scale up and down, so if you go from 2-core WebLogic suite to a 4-core WebLogic suite infrastructure, the licenses scale up, but they also scale down. So that means that you only pay for what you use. This both for infrastructure and for licenses. So that's the big advantage of running Oracle Forms on the WebLogic suite. What licenses are available for the bring your own licenses model that you can bring to the Oracle Cloud? Well, for design time, we have the Internet Developer Suite. This includes the Oracle Forms and Reports Developer. It's the only license type which allows the developer for Oracle Forms and Oracle Reports. It also includes a runtime license, but only available for testing, development and testing. Then for production runtimes, There's 3 types that you can bring to the Oracle Cloud. Of course, the forms and reports. You can use that either on the EAS as the forms, the forms offering that we will be showing after this. It includes the runtime for forms, reports, and BI Publisher, but it does not, and that's important, it does not include the developer for those products. A second one, which is available for production runtime, is the Internet Application Server license. It basically inherits all the components and restrictions for the forms and reports licensing, but it has some additional components. One of them being the DB component, the license for the DB component that you then can use for to install your RCU of WebLogic. And the third option, a license option that you can bring to cloud is, of course, the WebLogic Server Suite. This license is available for the UCM model, which I presented earlier. It inherits the Internet Application Suite components, and then most of WebLogic Suite features and components are added, of course. What is the typical use case of the marketplace image? Basically, it's very quickly, you can very quickly provision, you can very quickly try the new release of Oracle Forms, and it literally takes only a few minutes to do it. You can start development after 15 minutes. Forms Builder is included, so you can start development in minutes. The only thing it might not be best suited for in, this marketplace image is for large-scale enterprise environments. You could run it for a small-scale production environment, but the large-scale is not eligible because we don't really have an auto-scaling option for this image, for this offering actually. So it comes down to, if you want to try forms and you want to provision it quickly, you can go to the marketplace, you can install the image, it takes a few minutes, a few clicks, and you're ready to go. So let me talk you a little bit about the architecture. You can, of course, create it a little bit more enterprise-like by setting up a VPN towards the network. But basically, as it's quick and easy to use, the only thing that you need, it's a network, a virtual cloud network, which you have here, a route table to route your traffic, and a security list to allow traffic in and out your subnet. And then, of course, the virtual machine or the bare metal machine where you installed the marketplace image. You can add services like load balancer. I already mentioned VPN. So you can go through your internal network through VPN, or you can access it through the internet, and it's very easy, very quick. 2 steps to provision. Like I mentioned, one is to install the Oracle Forms for the marketplace. We can do that through the console. You can do that through the CLI, which is the command line interface for OCI, and you can do it through some API calls. Second step is actually you log on to the machine itself using an SSH. There, WLST or a WebLogic scripting tool will be started to start provisioning all the software on the VM. So yeah, time for a demo. So let me quickly show you how it works. I've prepared some additional virtual machines already to make it a very smooth demo, so that we don't have to wait too much. But it will, in the meantime, it will show you how fast it can go. First thing you need to do is you go to the, I will be using the console today. So you go to your console, your tenancies console for OCI. You go to the hamburger menu on the top left corner, and you go to the marketplace. There you choose applications. Okay, this is, okay. I was no longer logged in, sorry. Probably was too long since the start of the session. So to the marketplace home, there you type in forms. There's only one offering which will show. That's the Oracle Form Service. You click on that. Here you will, it shows the two versions which are available and what those two images actually what's already provisioned inside those images. So for the 12.1.3, you have the Oracle Linux 7.5, a database included on the VM version 18, WebLogic Server 12.2.1.3, and on the other version, yeah, it's the, of course, WebLogic 12.2.1.4. A database 19.3 can be included in the image, but you can also choose to have a database cloud service here. So that's the difference between also, it's not only the release which is different, but also there's a bit more possibilities in the latest release. It shows here again that it is a bring your own license. You have to accept that you have read the terms and conditions about those licenses, of course, and then you can launch the instance. Let's call this demo forms 4. I'm going to provision in the Frankfurt region, which has several availability domains or data centers. Olivier will give a little more explanation on that later. This is the image that we will be using. Here you can change the shape. I will go for a AMD 2.2 in this case. Here you choose the virtual network, the virtual cloud network which you use. It's one of the components I showed before, which is needed. The subnet that you will be choosing, I will choose the public subnet for now because I want to access it through the internet for this demo. And actually, all you need to add is a public key. So you can generate one, or you can add your own public key, which I will be doing now. And that's about it. That's what you need to do. This is step 1. So this, while this is provisioning, I did foresee more than one VM. So let me take one already prepared. I will be connecting to the second one. So the first time you log on, as you can see, you are connected using the user OPC, Oracle Public Cloud. This is the same for all VMs or bare metals which you provision on OCI. It's starting a WebLogic scripting tool, and after this first initialization, it will be asking if I would choose a Oracle Database Cloud Service, or if I will be provisioning on top of the image. So with the database included in the image. For this example, I will be going for a database cloud system, which I created earlier, just to show you how easy it is. what I need for that is he's asking for the PDB name. I have created a database with PDB1. And then he's asking for the Oracle Database Cloud Service Easy Connect string. This can be found on the database page. And here you have the Easy Connect string. Here you have the long connect string. You copy it. Then it will be asking for the long connect string. We do the same. And then it's actually, basically, it's only, we will only be asking for some passwords. I've been copying a few here. So let me just enter some passwords here. Oops, that's not the correct one. Sorry. Anyway. So we'll be asking for some password, and it then will start provisioning here. And that's not, yeah, I think I've copied the wrong password here, but this is actually not computer science. It's just starting the provisioning. And after the provisioning, you can connect to it using a VNC server. This is also something which I've done now. So I've created a third VM, with the marketplace image in place, just to show you what's available. So this is the VM. This is the VNC connection to the VM with the marketplace image installed on it. There's a README file which shows you again what's included on the VM. It shows you which patches are installed for Fusion middleware. And also important, it shows you which ports are open by the Unix firewall. So it's important to know that. So not everything is actually open for external traffic. So next to the README file, you can see that Forms Builder, Forms Compiler, and Forms Migration Assistant are being deployed, and also SQL Server, together with an instance controller, where you can stop all admin servers or the database or the domain servers. This is also available on the desktop. As you can see, it has a SQL developer installed. You can connect to the console as a local host, and the default port is 7001. You can connect to the Enterprise Manager for Fusion middleware. And of course, you can connect to forms. I've created a demo form here just to show you that it really works. So this is using the sample schemas, as you can see, department 10 and so on is available here. Next to that, there's also the form builder. Which is not showing right now. Yeah, okay, there it is. So you can see it's a few minutes and you can start developing. Quite easy, and already everything is available with the new release. Okay, that concludes the demo. So let's continue with our PowerPoint presentation. this UCM WebLogic Suite UCM model and offering, and also the Oracle Forms Marketplace offering. It's easy to use, but you can also create your own application and put it on the marketplace on OCI. There's a few steps that you need to comply on. The first one is that you need an active open OPN membership. So you need to be an active Oracle partner in the Oracle Partner Network. And of course, also cover some aspects like embedded software licenses, cloud agreements, and the application registration form, and so on. A second step is to submit a publisher request on the marketplace. That can be easily done on the console. Then you have to create a listing, either a bring your own listing or a paid listing. Bring your own license listing is basically the same as the bring your own license, which I covered before for Oracle Forms. And the paid listing is actually some kind of a UCM model or Oracle Universal Cloud model, which is also available for WebLogic Suite. After that, you create an image or a Terraform stack. And when you created that, of course, there's still a technical proof of concept to prove that your application is ready to be deployed on the Oracle Marketplace. As I just told you, there's two flexible deployment models. The first one is just like the Forms model I showed you before. It's an image you can create. It's a pre-configured compute only deployment. The target for it is small scale production or a development or test environment. Another way of deployment is to create a Terraform stack. This can also include an image. You can also include the image in the Terraform stack, but next to the pre-configured compute, you can also provision networking, some security, etc., all tailored to your solution. This is more Terraform stack is actually more for enterprise-ready deployments. But more on that will be available 2 days from now on Thursday. There's the Oracle EMEA ISV team is covering a marketplace session on Thursday, 4:30 in the afternoon. I would like to invite you to attend that session. It will give you more information on the listing options, which listings, and will give you more in-depth what those listings mean. And then also there's some best practices for ISVs, which will be shown in that webinar. If you cannot attend that meeting, I'm sure it will be recorded, so you can also look at it afterwards. But next to that, there's also some how to publish videos for the Oracle Marketplace available on YouTube. So if the session of Thursday is not enough and you still need some more information, you can either contact us, of course, or you can additionally look at some videos on YouTube. That being said, are there any questions on the chat, Philip?
Thomas, no. For the moment, there are no questions on the Q&A. So anyone with questions on this topic, don't hesitate, put them on the Q&A, and we walk through them at the end of this seminar. Thanks a lot, Thomas, for a nice introduction on how to get our Oracle Forms application onto the Oracle Cloud infrastructure with a very powerful demo. Thanks for that. So now we're on the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. Let's see what else we can use over there, because okay, we're running on hardware, we have networking, security, VMs and stuff like that. So now, Olivier, Please join us and explain a bit more what else is at our disposal at that level.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Olivier. I'm with Contribute for, I think, more than 4 years now. Time flies when you're having fun, right? So I've been doing Oracle Cloud for, I think, 3 years, over 3 years now, full time. So so yes, today is indeed a forms seminar, but of course, there's the best way to run Oracle is to run it on Oracle. I mean, that was the sales pitch quite a while ago, but I think it's worth looking into it for a short time to see what Oracle Cloud can bring, because perhaps there are some people in the audience that were not fully aware that Oracle also has its cloud offering available. So instead of, and there my tools are failing me. So instead of dropping you that with or bringing you to sleep this afternoon with best practices and approaches to deploy the forms applications or the forms infrastructure to Oracle Cloud. What you see here are some examples from architectures that are coming from the architecture row corner provided in the documentation of the Oracle Cloud. So best practices, advanced scenarios, that kind of things. Instead of doing that, I'm gonna bring you a short history and a short overview of what Oracle Cloud can do for you. Next to, of course, hosting your forms environment. So initially, I think everybody knows these cloud vendors that are around for quite a while, especially the one on the top right, Amazon Web Services. They're around for what, 11, 12 years now. Second one is Microsoft Azure. Google, I think most of us actually use Google in one way or another, especially the people with Android phones. There's also DigitalOcean with a good offering, and yeah, for the more adventurous people on the rest, there's Alibaba Cloud in China, which is actually a pretty big cloud, seen the market where they're playing at. But next to that, and coming late to the party, is of course Oracle Cloud. So they started a few years ago. I'm talking, what, 4 or 5 years ago with a first iteration. Nowadays, they're phasing out that first iteration. They're fully rolling out the second iteration. It's that second iteration that recently got some kind of approval from the big consultancy firms and the gardeners among us that say, like, look, Oracle has become a viable option when you're looking into moving workloads to the cloud. Before it, yes, was perhaps limited to Oracle on Oracle, but the offering now has matured, has broadened, and has, well, I can't say stabilized because it was always stable. So that is why we deem it useful to bring a short round on Oracle Cloud. Not sure how many international people or customers are in the call, but I think this shows the commitment of Oracle when it comes to building out that cloud, to investing in the cloud as a platform. From Contribute point of view, or for European point of view, we most of the time we deploy in Frankfurt or Amsterdam. Yeah, London initially was also a go-to place, but yeah, with the Brexit, it's not really interesting anymore. Zurich could also be an option in some cases, but also there might be a problem since, yeah, it's not really Europe, and you know. So for us, most of the time it's Frankfurt and Amsterdam. That said, I briefly hinted on the fact that we're in the second generation of the cloud. So initially there was the first generation rolled out in Phoenix, in Amsterdam, London, a few other locations in the world. And that first generation cloud was stable as a rock, the second too, but for being a first iteration, it was stable as a rock. It was elastic. There was the pay what you use already in place. It was high scale, to be quite honest. So you could do small deployments, but it was more entered to really like the typical Oracle Cloud customer, right? Enterprise level, large machines, and so on. There was self-service in place. Now on the last one, I dare to differ. Easy to use. For me, it compared to what you have on Amazon, on Azure, or on the new cloud now. No, I dare to differ that it was easy to use. It was slow often to use, not to run your workloads on, to use. So yeah, it was good that they came with that second iteration. So what did they do in the second iteration? They picked away the top engineers, top people from the Googles and the Amazons and the Azures that we saw on one of the previous slides, and they said to them, well, draw us the plans for our new cloud. And that's what we're working on today. It has superior performance. Yes, you can provision very fast. Yeah? It's also performing very well. There's superior economics. I'll come back to that later with a few comparisons. Yeah, it might sound cheap, but the differences are there. Yeah? There's of course still the enterprise expertise, since Oracle is mostly grown out of enterprise customers. You can bring very large workloads to the cloud. You can also start very, very small nowadays and grow organically. Then there's a security first paradigm. Not that it was not the case that the previous iteration was not secure or not well thought through, but it's more like in your face. You have a lot more control on your security policies, user groups, roles, that kind of stuff. It's more manageable now. And last but not least, it's an open ecosystem. Whereas on the first iteration, they focused often on in-house built standards, or not really broadly known standards. The new cloud is built around the things that we all know when working with cloud, working with DevOps environments, that kind of stuff. So talking Ansible, Terraform, and others. So as said, there's a different cloud management in place. So on generation 1 cloud, the control plane of your data center and the hardware that was there to run your infrastructure on was actually, there was no real split between them. So in theory, the cloud provider could see customer data. The user code could access cloud control code. Yeah, we never had an incident, but in theory, it was possible. That was solved in the second generation cloud. There's a strict split between the control plane of the data center or the cloud and your own workloads from a customer point of view. That said, the whole network was completely redesigned, yeah, there's more an option for bare metal compute, where you have dedicated hardware running your own workloads without any interference of noisy neighbors or or other problems. Whereas in the old cloud, there was not really that option to have bare metal or dedicated compute instances. So a big differences in the architecture. On top of that, the cloud architecture as it's rolled out now is actually rolled out with high availability, resilience, data recovery, disaster recovery, all these kinds of things in mind. So people with experience in Amazon will kind of recognize these drawings, or the structure of these drawings. So Oracle is built around regions, and each region will have 3 availability domains. So say we have the region of Frankfurt, it will have 3 availability domains. The 3 availability domains, or availability zones with the other cloud vendors, are actually a separate data center that is located within the vicinity, and is tightly connected to one of each other. That way, it's possible to spread your load because you can choose where you want to run your workloads. It's possible to spread your workloads over the different data centers, for example. It's also possible to have disaster recovery plans to build up quickly an environment on another availability domain, just in case there's a problem with one availability domain. Luckily, it didn't happen yet, but yeah, you never know. It's also the reason why Oracle, when you put in data on the object storage or when backups are taken to the object storage, that backup is by default copied to the other availability zones, availability domains. Look, I'm mixing up names here. Availability domains. This way, your backups are available just in case it's necessary. All your traffic within a region is free. Traffic between regions, just in case you're going to spread out multi-region, that one is paying. But come back in detail on that later. The network between these regions, is as such that in theory it's possible, and theory, in practice it's also possible to actually have your database active on one availability domain and have your application server, for example, running on the other availability domain, just in case the scenario begs for it. It's not ideal, but the network is as such that it's perfectly possible. The interconnectivity between the data availability domains, between the data centers within a region, is very, very good. There's not really an SLA on it. However, if you take a terabyte backup, that terabyte backup will be available within 10 to 15 minutes in the other availability domains. So that shows how fast that network is between the data centers. Within an AD, as said, the whole network has been redesigned. And instead of working with a tree type network, they work with a totally different kind of network, which allows Oracle actually to give SLAs on their network. Oracle is also giving SLAs on other aspects of their compute offering, for example, storage or and indeed network. A few numbers for who's interested, just in case you're really thinking of bringing large workloads to cloud. A machine can be hooked up to 2 times 25 gigabit per second. Well, that's a lot. I can show you that. The bandwidth of a machine sizes with the size of your VM. So you'll start around 1 gigabit by default, and then it goes up very fast, showing that indeed the network and the data centers are not oversubscribed, allowing Oracle to provide you that SLA on these corners of your on these cornerstones of your infrastructure. So, coming to cloud services, I'm not going to give you a full overview of all cloud services because that way Philip won't have enough time for his part. However, I want to bring you a quick rundown of what Oracle currently is offering and where it differs with competitors. So where the added value for you is, would you consider going to Oracle Cloud? So, okay, like everyone, they're providing virtual machines in different types, different shapes. You can have virtual machines with up to 32 OCPUs, a few gigabyte of memory, a lot of gigabyte of memory, in fact, 700 and plus. But those are the virtual machines on the shared infrastructure. You can also have dedicated virtual machines. That way you can easily provision virtual machines, but on your dedicated infrastructure. And then there's also the bare metal offering. Difference between the last two, in fact, is that on one hand, you're just using the cloud infrastructure to provision and manage your VMs. On the last one, you can bring your own hypervisor. You can do with the hardware whatever you want. It's also possible to attach dedicated NVMe SSDs to the machines, so that you will have even more fast and ultra fast storage available to your workloads. Another thing a lot of people are looking at, and that is, I think, well known in the developer world, is Docker and Kubernetes. So also Oracle here has been investing a lot of time to provide or to offer a Docker and Kubernetes offering. So they have their own container registry that you can use, and where you only pay for the storage of the images. There's a container engine for Kubernetes, where also you only pay for the worker nodes. So the container engine, the service itself, is free. You don't really have access to your master nodes, but you keep the cost at hand by sizing the worker nodes to your own liking and requirements. Then with that, Oracle being Oracle, there's also an integration with WebLogic, just in case customers want to bring their WebLogic workloads to cloud, but they want to use the elasticity of the Kubernetes environment, for example, or for the cloud as a whole. Oracle worked out a specific version of WebLogic, where WebLogic will actually be using Kubernetes as the hardware. So your domain will be spanned over the different machines that make your worker nodes for your Kubernetes service. So that way you can easily extend your domain or make your domain smaller without having to play within your server files and so on, or your WebLogic configuration. It is all done by this WebLogic overlay that is provided. There's also functions being made available. And of course, when we talk functions, serverless functions, there's also an API gateway that is available. All these services are natively available within the new second generation OCI cloud. A few services are still running on the old cloud, but there are only a few of them anymore. Most of the more hot ones, the more demanded ones, are actually already running on the new cloud. Another important aspect of cloud is storage, and storage is a very, very important part, as the different vendors have totally different approaches when it comes to storage. So there's the block storage, which you attach to your servers, you mount it to a mount point. The performance is SLA based, so Oracle is providing SLAs by default on any storage volume. You can define backups for backup policies. And as said, these backup policies result in backups being made on your own base, and these backups go to the object storage. And you know, that object storage is being copied to the other data centers within the region. By default, Oracle encrypts with provided keys by the cloud, but you can upload your own keys to encrypt your backups and your storage, if that is a requirement for the company you're representing. There are 3 SLAs. So by default, it's the balanced SLA, which gives 60 IOPS per gigabyte, and is capped at 25,000 IOPS per volume. This one you'll get around 500 gigabyte volume. You will get 25,000 IOPS per volume. The lower price one is 2 IOPS per gigabyte, and results in maximum 3, and is capped at maximum 3,000 IOPS. And the higher performance is adding another 20% of IOPS to the mix. Comparing this to the Azures and the Amazons of this world, these are very, very interesting numbers, especially when you are going to compare cost. So a terabyte of this balanced storage on Oracle, it will cost you around 40 euros a month with the SLA of 25,000 IOPS, which is in fact documented, so you can test it. On Amazon, or Azure, you will on listing price, you will be set back 1,600 to 2,000 euros or US dollars, in fact, a month to get the same performance with SLA. So there's a big difference between things, and that's how Oracle also approached it, coming late to the party. That is like, hey, look, we're going to investigate how the others are doing and where can we differ. And they saw that they could differ on the infrastructure, on the storage specifically. So that's what they did. So other storage services. So the object storage, I pointed out, it's unstructured storage. Think Azure File Storage or Amazon S3. There's the archive storage. So long-term file storage, which is in fact like the object storage, but then way cheaper, but slower, of course. Then there's a file storage managed as MBs, and you have the data transfer service, which is free, in fact. But yeah, of course, that's only when you need to migrate terabytes and terabytes of data to the data center. Another thing, I'm going to go quickly over it. So there's your virtual cloud network. As a customer in Oracle Cloud, and it's no different than with the other vendors, you will get your own private network. You can choose your subnet, you can choose your SIDRs, your ranges. So you have your own little network in cloud that you can organize the way you want. So everything that you expect from a network is there. Subnetting, private IPs, routing, stateful firewall, that kind of things. There's the much needed nowadays network security controls, whether it's on subnet level or on machine level. And then I'm not talking about a firewall or anything like that. I'm really talking about cloud. And then very important, all traffic within a region is free. So all your servers talking to each other, that is free. There's no cap on that. The first 10 terabyte of outbound traffic is free each and every month. So meaning that, say you have a set of servers running in cloud, and you have your people working on that, or your customers working on your service that you're hosting in cloud, that is traffic that is seen as outbound because it crosses the boundaries of the region. First 10 terabyte of outbound traffic is free, and it's a lot, in fact. So takes some time to get there, which is of course very interesting because Azure and Amazon are also counting this in your monthly invoice, how much egress traffic you had. Other cloud services, a little bit no-brainers, but I just want to show this way that yeah, indeed, the basics, everything you need to go to Oracle Cloud is there. So you have the load balancers. There's a free VPN offering up to 200 megabits per second with redundant connectivity. So you can set up 2 VPN connections to your on-prem device, but without SLA. You can have primary, secondary domains in cloud, also private DNS, just in case you want to extend your on-prem environment to cloud. It's perfectly possible. You have an email delivery service, and there's also a web application firewall to make sure that you are protected against attacks or against DDoS situations. Another important part of moving to cloud is, of course, when you move to cloud, connectivity often is a problem because it's running a separate network in cloud. So most companies are looking into bringing that cloud environment into their own on-prem network. And for that, there is Fast Connect. So it provides dedicated connectivity between your on-premises and cloud. It's also priced very competitively. In the end, you rent your own network port in a data center. And when you have the Fast Connect in place, you are no more separated. You're no more charged for inbound or outbound traffic over that Fast Connect. So that's also a very interesting premise. Next to that, a lot of customers or a lot of companies already have Microsoft Azure in place. It's interesting to know that there is a feature or there's some kind of alignment between two companies to bring together a fast connect and an express route so that the environments that live on Azure already and on Oracle can be interconnected as if they are running within one and same network. So possibility is there. So what you do then is, of course, yeah, you set up your express route, your fast connect on both sides, but you also have to provide the connectivity in between. Next to that, another very important thing, identity cloud, because yeah, you have your applications running in cloud. So you have your federation in place. It's all possible. You have your user management, very detailed user management. As said earlier, your distributed denial of service protection in case you publicly bring services to cloud to the customers. There's also possibility to protect yourself from the inside. I mean, you might have users on all parts of the world that are way out of your control or not easily controlled. So yeah, here you have your cloud access security broker where you can track risky behavior or where you can see compromised credentials, which is nowadays also a very important topic to follow. There are extensive auditing capabilities, and there's a lot of policy management in place. So to end up and come back to the forms topic, it wouldn't be Oracle if there wasn't a very extensive database offering, and of course there is. So you have databases in a lot of different flavors. So there's a database cloud service, which are the classic database installs, VM, virtual machine, or bare metal. Oracle provisions that, and then as a customer, you manage it, or in case of MSP, we manage it for you. Then there's the autonomous database, which is a self-driving database, whether it's for transactional purposes or data warehouse purposes. And then there's the Exadata offering, going from very small quarter or 8 rack to full racks and so on. Important, I think a lot of people are looking for this, is a TCO. So yes, Oracle is cheaper in a lot of scenarios. I'm not going to go over the numbers in detail. Slides will be handed out, so then you can do the investigation yourself. But here we compare a simple VM with 2 vCPU and the amount of memory. So we took the same machines and we put in the numbers and we compare them next to each other, showing that Oracle on Oracle Linux is almost 50% on average cheaper. For Windows, Oracle Cloud is even cheaper than Microsoft Azure themselves. So that's a big game changer, of course. When it comes to database and backup related to database, also here Oracle has a very competitive offering, being 20 to 50% cheaper for entry-level databases, and for the enterprise-level databases, the difference can even be bigger. So also there, you see the difference on the approach of Oracle to the other cloud vendors. When it comes to having your forms environment in the cloud, we set up a basic template for the forms environment with a database standard and a database enterprise. And here you see the prices with our managed services included. So that way you know how much it would cost to bring your workload to Oracle Cloud. Okay. So that said, if you want to get starting or playing around with Oracle, there's always the free offering. You can have a trial, and after your trial ends, there will be parts of that trial that will be free indefinitely. Here you see listed out what you will get, so that you can always go back and test and play or use it for personal purposes. Of course, here are no here are no SLAs given on this infrastructure. What can Contribute do for you? Well, as said, Contribute is also a managed service provider for Oracle Cloud. So we can, on one hand, we can help you from a project point of view to do a lift shift to new installs, data migration, manage the upgrades, and integrate the cloud environment with your on-premise. That said, this can go way further than only the forms workloads, but we could also provide you with cloud architecture designs. We can take over for you the provisioning, the monitoring, the automation, and so on. We have SLA-based help desk, so we can give up to 24/7 help desk services. We have incident management, we do preventive maintenance, we do the patching, and so on. And this all can be done in a predictive cost model because, yeah, the Oracle Cloud, the pricing for the moment, you'll never know in the future, but for the moment, the big difference with Azure and Amazon is that it's a very predictive cost model. So we can work with kind of an upfront budget and stick to that budget, which is, I think, very important. So if you want to talk to us on any cloud migration or cloud transformation or a cloud journey with the beautiful words. So what we often do is we provide in pre-sales half a day free of charge a total cost of ownership of your intended solution or your workload, or we can also give you an insight on a technical benefit specifically for your situation. We also help you with setting up your always free Oracle Cloud environment and your trial. And yeah, of course, we discover our managed services offering on the public cloud. That's it for me.
Okay, thanks a lot, Olivier. We do have some questions on your topic, so that's nice to see.
Yeah, I'm
let's
switching to it.
The first question was on Oracle Designer, which is a development product. So I will touch on that in my session. No worries about that. You talked about a nice connection between Azure, Microsoft Azure, and Oracle OCI. Mm-hmm. The question is whether there will be also such kind of connection with the AWS.
As far as I know, I'm not from Oracle myself, and I don't think there's anything like that currently in the pipeline. There is a way to actually connect the different clouds to each other, indeed, with the VPN connect on both sides. And currently with a customer where we have Amazon, Azure, and Oracle interconnected like that. But yeah, there's no offering as the Azure Connect currently, I think, in the pipelines for Amazon.
Exactly. There's the dedicated interconnect between Azure and Oracle is for the moment is unique. And as Olivier mentioned, you can create a fast connect or VPN between AWS and OCI to interconnect the both cloud environments.
Indeed.
Okay, perfect. Because that brings us to the second question on indeed how to best connect their AWS resources with their Oracle Cloud infrastructure, which they want to do for Oracle.
Depends on bandwidth, depends on where the data centers are located. Sometimes a VPN connect is enough. But yeah, if latencies need to be under control, yeah, indeed, you can always set up a fast connect to Amazon, for example. That's perfectly possible. So in that case, you pay the fast connect. You will also pay the I don't know on Amazon how it's called, to be quite honest, the connect service on that side, and you foresee, of course, the MPLS or the least line connectivity between the two endpoints. Yeah.
To be practical, let us say they have their data center in Ireland. How do you see that?
Yeah, then will they when say they're in Ireland with their Amazon data center and they have to connect to let's say Amsterdam, then they will have to get in touch with a party that will be able to sell them connectivity directly between Ireland and Amsterdam to provide the leased line or the MPLS, and then they'll have to configure the connectivity on both ends to set that up. Most of the times, most customers will start with a VPN connect because that you can do directly. And if you have problems with the settings of your VPN connectivity, you can always open up NSR or a service request with Azure or Oracle. We did that last week with the customer because the VPNs were not talking to each other. So, and so the problem was quickly resolved. And on the long run, yeah, we have to find on the market a party that is actually providing connectivity between the two endpoints. Ireland to Amsterdam, for example, is not that simple. In this case, for example, we're talking Frankfurt to Amsterdam. So that's a lot more easier. So on the European mainland, it's a lot easier. So yeah, that part could be a little more tricky and could actually take weeks before it's in place.
Okay. I think we covered the question. So the question on Oracle Designer will pick up in my session at the end. I would propose to the customer to take contact with us and have an in-depth discussion on architecture and connectivities between the different data centers here in Europe. I think that could help them to get on their way. So thank you, Thomas, for getting us into the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Thank you, Olivier, to give us a broad view on what are the different capabilities of that Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Let's see on the level of development, on application development, what else is there to make us happy. Well, nowadays, Oracle is pushing these three solutions to the foreground. So these are all low-code development solutions. That is not no-code. No-code is totally different. This is a low-code, which means you can easily start, build some nice fancy demo for pre-sales like me and have a lot of fun. But once you go into a real project mode, then you will really need to have developers at your side. You will really need to have the architects at your side to get the most out of these products. Now, the first one you probably already know, Oracle Apex has been there for a long time, but I think since September, it's the first time that Oracle openly, even from the development teams, even from the middleware teams, even from the cloud teams, present this product as a viable product for application development, instead of being a smaller product just for departmental solutions. So that's quite a shift they made. And we believe that also the development teams are really changing for Oracle Apex. And there are a lot more analysts, developers supporting that product nowadays. And we see a lot of more changes coming on, a lot of nice changes also in terms of DevOps and stuff like that. So Oracle is really pushing this solution for a real application development possibility for our customers and partners. A second one is a Visual Builder Cloud Service. Now, Visual Builder Cloud Service has been there for 2 to 3 years. A big difference with Oracle Apex that it's actually built on top of 3 products. So we'll have a deeper discussion on that. But again, like Apex, it will give you a platform to build your entire applications, to build your integrations and your processes and deploy them directly into the cloud. And thirdly, a bit different than the 2 first one, because the 2 first are just building web applications, mobile solutions, things we know, things we do for how many years with Oracle Forms. But with Oracle Digital Assistant, we're actually creating a new kind of interface, a conversational flow of our applications instead of a menu-based flow or a screen-based flow. So totally different approach for joining our customers or our partners in using our services. Well, let's have a look at all 3 of them and see which one can help us the most in what circumstances. Oracle Apex, a high productivity, low-code development platform for business analysts and low-code developers to easily build scalable and secure data-centric web applications. Well, this phrase says it all, of course. High productivity, true. Not as high as Oracle Forms, to be honest, but quite high. Low code, so it's not no code. So you still do some coding through PL SQL. So any business logic will be written in PL SQL code, and it's running into the Oracle database. So you're really close to your data. You're really close to that business logic in PL SQL. You can make a you can leverage that immediately. For business analysts, to be honest, I'm not so sure about that. Oracle Apex is really oriented to developers. You don't have to be a senior developer to get started. That's true. But saying a business analyst can develop his Apex application, that's a bit too far, to be honest. So you need to know a bit of concept on how to build applications, and how to build structures, on how to use the data in the best way and stuff like that. So I would say use real developers to build your Oracle application. What you can do as a business analyst with Oracle Apex is a totally different thing. So instead of building applications, you can actually migrate your Excel applications or Microsoft applications and move them into an Oracle database. That's something different. Low-code developers, in this case, just SQL, PL SQL developers, people you probably already have in your staff with your Oracle Forms background, so they can easily move on to Oracle Apex. They will need to learn the platform itself, but the technical knowledge, the language knowledge they already have. There's nothing different. It's just learning the new platform, Oracle Apex, and you're off to go. We have workshops going from 2 to 5 days on getting people up and running with Oracle Apex. And after which, a couple of weeks, they already built their first runnable production-ready application. So that's very quickly. Scalable and secure data-centric web application. It's all running into the Oracle database. It's using the scalability of the Oracle database itself, and it's using the security of that database with in front an application server running the integration between HTTP and the Oracle database. It's only web applications. So we do support from Oracle Apex mobile application. We can run that Oracle Apex application on a mobile device, that being a tablet, being a phone, but never offline. You never have the real mobile app capabilities that you do with other frameworks. So it's a very easy framework to build fast applications with it. You can run it anywhere, but not offline. So what can we do with it? How do we work with it? Well, first of all, there's kind of no installation from the side of a developer. Your development of Apex applications is being done through a browser. You don't have to have any installation like an Oracle developer or Oracle builder. No, you just run your browser, connect to the Oracle Apex environment, and you start building your first Oracle Apex application. Being it a web application, being it a mobile web application, it doesn't matter. It's all the same development environment. Of course, we suggest to build your PL SQL knowledge, to build your database, your ERD. We suggest to use Oracle SQL Developer to do that, but everything else can be done from your browser onwards. Nice to see is that in the latest release of Oracle Apex being 20.2, we see a lot of efforts going to the DevOps side of the story of your project, meaning that while you're just building your application into the browser and everything is going into Oracle tables as metadata, you actually can export that as being an application being consumed of pages. So each page has its own file, which like in Forms, you can actually compare with the previous version and have a clear indication what has changed in certain version of your application. So that's nice to see. The focus of Oracle Apex is visualizing and managing data. The visualizations, the reporting, the visual screen reporting is very strong in Oracle Apex. Some customer of ours even use it to replace their BI solution because it was too expensive. Well, the only things they needed was well supported through Oracle Apex. So using Oracle Apex can help you in visualizing the already complex data you have in your databases and show that off to customers or users in a more friendly way. Not only showing, but users can also actually, through a report component, actually change the way the data is presented. They can make grouping, they can do order by, they can do highlighting, they can export to Excel, they can even ask the database to show the data as it were a couple of days ago or months ago. So all tightly integrated with the database features you might have implemented. And the only thing your developers need is your existing SQL and PL SQL skills. There's nothing different. You have a small Apex knowledge to have, like I said, a workshop of 2 days to 5 days, get you up and running. So it's a very tiny layer between the visualization and the Oracle database. So having the knowledge of Oracle PL SQL, having the knowledge of Oracle SQL will get you up to speed in a very quick way. Industry-leading low-code application development platform to be discussed, but to make sure, Oracle Forms is not a platform. Oracle Forms is a building tool allowing you to build a Forms application, and then you have your runtime platform where you run the Oracle Forms solution. Now, these two components are built into one with Oracle Apex. So you have the same environment to build your code, to build your application, as to run it. So while you're building an application, you can easily run it and see the result. You can actually create a separate schema, a separate environment of workspace, they call it, to actually launch a test environment, for example, or even production, all within the same Oracle database, all within the same instance. So it's easy to go from development to production. It's easy to see the result of your development. There's no compiling. There's no actually deploying. You can just run the code in Oracle Apex. So for our developers, it's nice to go to have this quite quickly development cycle compared to JavaScript development, HTML development, etc. It's easy to learn to get started. Again, workshop 2 to 5 days. SQL and REST friendly. SQL from the beginning, of course. REST only starting from version 15, I believe. So now in 22, this is really picking up. You can not only get information through a REST API, you can also do CRUD operations. So create, read, update, and delete operations through this REST API. It's clearly that they chose not to be focused on the database the Oracle Apex instance is running on, but also looking at the entire world and getting information from different resources. A really nice evolution there. Build responsive and mobile apps. Well, with development frameworks from Oracle, Oracle is always trying to push the best practices they see for building this kind of applications. So also within Oracle Apex, by default, you will be using responsiveness in your applications. You don't have to program that. You don't have to look after that. It just happens because you're using style sheets, using HTML built by Oracle Apex that deliver this kind of applications. So you can have web applications and you can have mobile web applications. So to be clear on that. Nice thing about it, it's a free product. Well, actually, it's an included product with any database, starting from XE, the free database, to the free tier, to Exadata or whatever you have in your data centers. Any Oracle database can run an Oracle Apex version. An Oracle Apex version is not limited to any Oracle database. You can run a very new Oracle Apex with an older Oracle database version, for example, if you don't want to upgrade your databases as often as you do Oracle Apex. It's part of the Oracle free Oracle Cloud trials. So because it's available in the databases, for example, I have it running for a local football here in my neighborhood. So they're running their subscription over there. So it's easily done, easily set up, and it just runs. Global success stories across all industries. It's all started with the Oracle internal applications. And then we see a lot of nice examples of people creating, first of all, department solutions, but nowadays really enterprise kind of solutions. Internet-based, web-based solutions, so very nice to see that. And of course, they have a very vivid developer community, which really grows every year, so that's nice to see. And their quote, quote, open world is only here in Rotterdam, in the Netherlands, so it's very close for us. So it's nice to go over there and get all the PMs over there, all the developers, all the partners working with Oracle Apex in the same room. Nice event. One example we have here, except for all our Oracle, contributes internal applications, which are also built with Oracle Apex, is one from the University Hospital of Antwerp, which they called nowadays, because the name has changed a couple of times, of the application Obelix. It's an application to govern the flow of juridical medicine support, which means if there is an accident or a murder somewhere and you have the doctor of the university hospital coming over, getting their first views and getting all the information, doing the autopsy afterwards, bringing all the information together for the judges afterwards. Well, this application is actually following this flow, is helping the users, helping the doctors, helping helping the assistants to get all the information compact together into one nice document and showing that off to the judges. It's a very big application in the sense that it uses a lot of different kind of screens, and on each screen we have a lot of information going on there. So we're really trying to use the new way of presenting information to get more information on smaller screens. So that's a nice exchange there. Deliverable to business. So they started off with an Excel Access application, which you migrated into the Oracle database. A nice example of getting distributed information. They didn't know which version was the correct one and moved it onto the central database and getting one source of truth about all of this information. So Oracle Apex, well-known database, SQL oriented. You can easily build your first screens after a small introduction, and off you go. So very nice thing. Another nice thing about Oracle Apex is, of course, that because it's running in the database, you can easily integrate Excel into it. So you can just take an Excel sheet and plug it in. It creates a table, it creates the application on top of it. And in a couple of minutes, you have a CRUD application running on the Oracle database, running your Excel data. Another nice new tool is the Visual Builder Cloud Service. Now, I said it was built up on 3 components, while Oracle Apex is one product. Visual Builder is actually part of 3 products. So let's have a look at them. First of all, of course, the product allowing you to build your application, being it a web application, being it a mobile web application, or even a real mobile app. So not only just web applications, but a real mobile app application or a PWA, if you want to, is also possible over here. Again, it's an entire platform, meaning you build your solution in your browser, you can run it over there, and you can move it to test and production statuses in the same platform. So it's all integrated. You don't need to have any other services running. Only when you go into production, you probably will need your own servers to allow to discover your own CPUs and memory usages over there. The backend of this nice low-code development platform is Oracle Jet based, meaning that behind the scenes, you actually create an Oracle Jet, which is a JavaScript toolkit from Oracle application. So any JavaScript developer can work with this. If you want to do something more fancy than the wizards allow you to do, well, you can just go into the code, write your own JavaScript, write your own integration with Oracle Jet, and move on. So the code, the platform is set up that you can build code directly or use wizards to create the code itself. Now, of course, as you can see here, this is not really tied into one database. It's a level higher, meaning it can easily connect to different kind of sources, where Apex is really plugged into the database and having its own local database as a data storage. Well, here we'll always have to look at REST APIs to get the data, to update the data, to do something with the data. So it doesn't matter where it's coming from. It doesn't matter which technology is being used to provide these REST APIs. Behind the scenes, there are some nice wizards, not only to integrate with REST APIs, but also to provide some business logic flow behind it. So if you want to integrate some business logic, you can call out a REST API and perform some very complex calculations, for example, or for more easier computations, you can do that in a flow directly built into the tool. And of course, like I said before, you can just click on the code button and write your own JavaScript Oracle Jet code into it. So that's nice. Again, big difference here. It's not tied into a database, and it provides you the capability of really creating mobile apps, creating mobile solutions compared to Oracle Apex. That's why the Visual App Builder is actually positioned by Oracle as the preferred tool to extend your SaaS. So the Oracle Fusion applications in the cloud, well, if you want to extend them, please use this Visual App Builder because it uses the same look and feel. It uses the same security model. So it's easy to extend it, allowing you to create new functionality into alongside your Oracle Fusion applications and giving the user one look and feel, one security feeling, logging once and having access to all these capabilities. A nice thing they added last year was the fact that while it is all cloud oriented, while it's all cloud based, you can actually export your application and run it behind a simple Apache because it's just JavaScript. The two negative points about that concept is that you have to drop, of course, the security combined with the Oracle SaaS, and you have to drop the functionality that you use the embedded business objects of that solution. So if you build a solution with that, we do propose to always create your own REST APIs, to create your own data model alongside, because then you can run it anywhere. It's a bit cheaper, of course. If you just run it behind an Apache, you just need to compute instance in the Oracle Cloud, and you're off to run your first Oracle Visual Builder application. Now, of course, most applications are a bit more complicated than just a couple of screens. That's why they also provided a visual process automation tool. It used to be called a Process Cloud Service, allowing you to actually do BPM, Business Process Management, within the Oracle Cloud. It's actually kind of the BPM solution of the on-premise version into the cloud, but totally rebuilt. So it's not just taking Oracle BPM as we knew in the Oracle SOA suite and put it into the cloud. No, it's really built from scratch on, built for the cloud, and it only runs in the cloud. So you can't export this one and run it somewhere on an application server or WebLogic server or whatever. So this one really needs to run in its own environment that's provided by Oracle. The nice thing about this is, of course, that you can, like any BPM tool, have swimming lanes, responsibilities, and have a more dynamic flow of your application instead of allowing the user to go from one screen to another. It's the process itself that defines which user will need to answer to which questions in your application. Of course, if you look at this process automation, you easily think about, okay, it's not only screens, I also have to call on services somehow, somewhere. How can I do this integration? So it's clearly in the next slide that this process automation tool is really connected to the integration tool that we see later on, allowing you to integrate any screen and any service you have within your company. An extra point on the process automation tool, it's not only about what humans can do, what services can do. There is also possibility to use RPA, meaning that you can have some human actions being integrated into the flow. For example, if you have some old COBOL program running somewhere, well, you can actually record the action of a user towards that COBOL application and run it directly within this process itself and being part of the entire flow within your company. A nice capability we can look at later on. Like I said, integration is a must nowadays. Not only simple REST calls, but also complex integrations between different kind of solutions. Well, herefore we have the Oracle Application Integration Cloud Service, allowing you to integrate between any Oracle SaaS solution, between any Oracle PaaS and IaaS solution, but also between a lot of non-Oracle solutions out there on the market. So it's a very broad tool, allowing you to do service bus, ESB kind of integrations, allowing you to take two endpoints, bringing them together, do some transformation of the data, and passing that information from one solution to another seamlessly. They all are REST enabled, meaning if you build a solution, if you build a connectivity, you can actually expose them as a REST API and call it from your Visual Builder Cloud Service, or even call it from your Oracle Apex solution and have these nice integrations out of the box. The nice thing about Oracle, of course, is that they do have a lot of examples of it. They do have a lot of customers using these kind of solutions, bringing these different kind of services together. Well, all this knowledge is being put into the tool itself, meaning if you choose two connections and bring them together, the tool itself will provide the most commonly used connectivity and data transformation that people are using between those two kind of solutions. So that's a nice thing to know. If you have complex environments, you can connect them together and have a kind of artificial intelligence telling us what is the best connectivity between those two solutions. Needless to say that a very good Oracle SaaS connectivity is being presented over here and is out of the box available. Here we have some adapters that are provided in the Oracle Integration Cloud Service. As you can see, of course, a lot of Oracle components, but also non-Oracle components, and of course, technology connectivities like simple REST, SOAP, FTP file connectivities are out there. There are also RPA connectivities, the most used products in the market. UiPath and Automation Anywhere are available, are tightly integrated. So if you have these solutions in-house, you can actually call them quite easily from the process or the integration component of Oracle Integration Cloud Service. There are also some social connectivities being available if you want to link up with MailChimp, for example, or SurveyMonkey to enhance your functionality within your application. All that is, of course, available. Again, an overview slides of everything you get with the Oracle Integration Cloud Service. So you can build your visual applications, you can build your process directly into the tools, and you have the entire integration between the different components, between the different solutions you have in your company, on-prem and into the cloud. So we have two nice solutions, two platforms allowing you to build web application screens, allowing you to build solutions for your customers and partners. Well, what's the third all about? Well, it's a totally different view on how to interact with your customers and partners. Instead of giving them screens and menus, we're talking here about conversational UI. So it's totally different than the UI UX we talk about managing screens or managing the flow in an application. This is managing the conversation itself you have with your customers and users. So why is it so different? Well, of course, we all know that natural conversation is the most natural way to do. If you talk to somebody, it's more easier to talk freely than to type in a sentence or to show something on a screen or whatever. So talking is very easy to do. What if we could use that talking conversation and translate that into services we can provide? So behind the scenes, we still have our services, we still have our integrations, but instead of using screens and menus and forms, we use the human natural language to communicate with our users and customers. There's no app to download. This means that you can easily integrate this backend solution into your website or into a Facebook Messenger or into your Teams environment within your company, for example. So you can have a chatbot listening to these different conversations and react on it when it's called upon. Of course, it's not human, like any application, it's available 24/7. It's all Oracle Cloud, so you can't run it on-prem. It's an Oracle Cloud solution, and it's up to Oracle Cloud to make it available 24/7. So you don't have access to the underlying services, you don't have access to the underlying hardware. It's all done by Oracle, and Oracle is providing the SLAs you need to get these services up and running. So we have multiple channels. You build a kind of backend solution, to be honest, and you say, okay, I want to show this solution, I want to show this interaction with my website or with Facebook Messenger or with my Teams, etc. The nice thing about all of this is that if you start off an application or a website, they're always very nice to look at, easy to use, intuitive, etc. But after a couple of years, they become cumbersome, they become very complex, difficult, and perhaps they show different results for the same request. Well, it becomes more difficult to manage. Well, you don't have this problem here with this kind of solution, because the only interface you have is your natural speaking language. It's your talking, it's your sentences. You don't have menus. You don't make it more complex for the user. The user will get more services at the end, but it doesn't see the complexity behind it. So let's have a look how this works for us. First of all, a slide, because perhaps you already heard of the term chatbots, and perhaps you already heard Oracle talking about a digital assistant. Well, what's the difference? Well, we started off with chatbots, and chatbots is actually a computer program designed to simulate conversations, but it's a single purpose. So a chatbot can do one thing very well, let's say an HR discussion or a discussion about support, IT support, these kind of things. So a chatbot is very good at that. Very importantly, a chatbot is always user initiated. So it's the user that starts asking a question on Facebook Messenger or on your website, and off you go, and the conversation is going. And it uses artificial intelligence for understanding conversations, by which we mean we're using ML, machine learning, to understand the phrases, to understand the sentences, the words within the phrases, and define what intent the user has to know which service he wants to call upon. A major difference is, of course, the digital assistant, which is a big, broader solution, which looks at different purposes, not just one purpose like a chatbot, but different purposes. And a chatbot, which was called before, is now called a skill. And digital assistant is built of skills, allowing us to have one entry point, asking questions about HR, and the same entry point if you want to ask questions about IT support or application support or any other department support you want in your company. Aside from a user starting a conversation, also in this environment, a bot can initiate a conversation, and it uses AI for predictions and recommendations itself. Another nice thing is that with the digital assistant, you actually can transfer the conversation from being a conversation between a human and the bot to a human and somebody of support. So you can use the digital assistant as a starting point for a conversation. And once the digital assistant seems not to be able to respond completely to the question of the user, you can transfer it back to your support team. Where can you use it? Different kind of services, like you see here. It all boils down to questions people have, interfaces that are too complex, perhaps procedures within your company that everybody has to walk through. Well, you can make them a lot easier using these kind of solutions. Here is a nice example of you using different skills from different applications, being at ERP, HCM, but all your own applications, Oracle Forms, for example. Once they are REST enabled, being it from the database through ORDs, being it from Forms directly, you can actually plug it into your digital assistant and allow different interfaces like speech, like Teams, for example, to talk to your application. Instead of going to the forms, the user is actually talking to Teams, and actually the forms is responding in the backend. Being aware that the digital assistant itself doesn't provide any knowledge. So we had a lot of questions from customer, we want to use the digital assistant. Does it have a knowledge database? No, it doesn't. You always need to provide your own knowledge, your own services from other applications and plug that into the digital assistant. The four components that make up Oracle Digital Assistant is actually a dialogue flow. You actually design, like you do with pages and menu, you design the conversation, but it's more dynamic than you do with screens. So through a conversational AI engine, the bot is learning, the digital assistant is learning what the user wants to do and presenting the different intents that are available. Once you have this backend solution ready, you can open up the different channels through the channel configurator, like we talked on before, and through Node.js and REST APIs, you can actually integrate with any enterprise data system you have in the backend, showing off the complex information as a simple UI interface. Some nice examples we had done with Mazda, for example, a couple of years ago already, showing off the capabilities of a bot. Built in a couple of months by a student. It was able to have 34 scenarios going from which Mazda car fit best with my GSM to when will my car be delivered to make an appointment. All these kind of questions could be asked to the bot itself. It was multilingual by default, so you don't have to translate it all. It's built in one backend engine, and you can use any translation engine you have at your disposal. It's appealing to young generations. They use Facebook Messenger to communicate with you. And instead of waiting for support to call back, the bot itself can respond immediately. A totally different bot is this one for the Game Mania community, where they wanted to use a different kind of interface, allowing their customers and users of games to take part of a contest, being able to win a very nice prize on based on a new game that was coming out called Fallout 76. We actually rebuilt the user interface of the game itself. It's like a computer on their arm, and they actually they communicate with that chatbot in the background. As you can see, the look and feel is totally different. We integrated that within their website. We use the security of their website to know who is logged on. And from there on, we continue we log every information out there. It was running for a month. We had about 1,600 users using it. And at the end of the month, we were able to provide Game Mania the winner of the game, of course. A very big success, also for the producer of the game. Very nice. So again, compared all the four capabilities. So we have the Oracle database solution with Oracle Apex, now able also through REST calls, being able to look broader than just a database. If you want to extend Oracle SaaS applications, Fusion applications, please use Visual Builder Cloud Service. That is the product to go for there. If you look at conversational UI, you go back to digital assistant chatbots. And if you want to look at integration, if you want to bring different services together, bring different applications together, please have a look at Oracle Integration Cloud Service, because they have a lot of out-of-the-box connectivities ready for you to be used. Some small overview on what do you need if you want to use this kind of solutions. Which skills do you need? So Apex, of course, SQL, PL SQL. Visual Builder Cloud Service, okay, it's low code, but yeah, you surely will need some JavaScript, CSS, HTML knowledge, and also very good REST knowledge, of course, on how this works. And for digital assistant, you will be using YAML to configure the configuration, the conversation itself. You'll be using Node.js to communicate with external resources. And of course, as the front end, we'll be using a Facebook development environment or any web environment, depending on what your front end will be. Where do we deploy and where do we develop? Apex you can deploy and develop anywhere, on-premise, in the cloud, any third-party cloud, it doesn't matter. Where the Oracle database is running, Oracle Apex can run. Visual Builder itself is a pure Oracle cloud product. But since last year, we can actually export it, like I said, and run it anywhere we want behind an Apache. So that's nice to see. And the Oracle Digital Assistant is a purely Oracle Cloud product. You develop it there, you run it there, no other options available. Primary use cases, Oracle Apex, data-driven application development. You're in the database, close to the data, so you can easily create high-performant applications using a lot of data, while Visual Builder is more higher up, meaning you can easily extend and use different sources. It's less data intensive, but it uses a lot of more services available in your company. And of course, a digital assistant or chatbot you use if you want to have a conversational UI instead of the standard UI UX approach. Data access, SQL, REST, and SOAP, and REST for Visual Builder Digital Assistant. Architectural maturity, of course, Oracle Apex has a long history already, so it's a very mature. Visual Builder only has a 4-year history, but it's based on Oracle Jet, which has a 6 to 7 year history in the market, but a more to 10-year history at Oracle. And Digital Assistant itself came to the market 3 years only ago. Designed for databases, SQL Navi developers. Visual Builder, like I said, JavaScript knowledge is necessary, and for Digital Assistant, certainly Node.js knowledge is necessary to create the inter-service capabilities. Of course, Oracle always, and most of the demos I see always talk about how to create screens, how to create interfaces. We almost forget also that we probably will need some operational reporting somewhere, or maybe some small BI. Well, in this case, Oracle is pushing their Oracle PI Publisher solution, which is a very good platform. Again, this is a platform allowing you to create reports, to create UI separately from the data, combine the data and create a nice result in different outputs formats. So that's very big as a solution. It's also a big product. It has been there for a couple of years. It has a long history. It's very robust. The major difference with Oracle Report is, of course, that within Oracle Report, we as a developer have put a lot of business logic into the Oracle reports. I even have reports creating views on the fly when I'm running it and stuff like that. That's not feasible with BI Publisher. If you provide your data must be ready for the report. You can't do any manipulation on the data afterwards almost. It's only in UI that you can put some if statements, repeating statements and stuff like that. So a very good solution, but it's quite big. If you are in need of a smaller solution which fits into your simple Oracle database with an Apex on top of it, you don't need any extra services on top of it. We can provide from Chronozon a Doxy solution, which is a very easy to use PL SQL based reporting solution. You don't need anything else, and you can easily create the PDF documents that you want. If you want to do more complex PDFs, if you want to do after processing capabilities, yeah, then you will look at the Apex Office printing solution from a company in Leuven, which has a more technical approach and gives us more capabilities on this kind of fronts. In the same idea, the question about Oracle Designer, will there be another big kind of designing tool within Oracle? I don't believe so. I think Oracle Designer was built in the time it should have been built, where we created a very big monolithic applications. This is not true anymore today. We came from a time where data entry was a major part of your application, towards now applications are built of showing data, of interpreting data, of presenting data in a way that you can easily draw your conclusions from it. So data entry is not the main focus anymore of applications. So this kind of big tools to build these big applications are not future-proof, let us say. So what do we still have? Well, the ERD capabilities, the diagram capabilities of a designer are still available in Oracle SQL Developer. So go over there, you get this modeling, which used to be paying. It's now free out of the box in SQL Developer. So you can model there your ERD, you can model there your database, having scripts being generated between different versions and stuff like that. A generation of applications that we have seen today, we can use the low-code development platforms like Apex, which generates actually your HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, or use Visual Builder Cloud Service, which generates Oracle Jet, presenting your application over there. So I think we came to the end of our session. So Thomas has talked us through on how to bring Oracle Forms to the Oracle Cloud infrastructure and how it easy is to start up a new version of Oracle Forms, playing around with it and see what it does with your own application. Olivier has shown us how easily we can extend that and what services we can bring to the table once we're in the Oracle Cloud, and how we can actually build production-ready services on top of that, being with Oracle Forms or other technologies. And my part was to show you the different development capabilities in this Oracle Cloud environment, and hoping that you can extend and open up services to your new applications. So I will open up to questions. Do we have a lot of questions over here in the Q&A? Let's have a look. I see 9. So we answered this one. Okay, one question, can Apex also be API driven, REST API? Do you mean by that that you can actually expose REST APIs? Well, exposing REST APIs from an Oracle database that you do with Oracle REST Data Services, ORDS. Now, ORDS is a product that we also use to expose Apex itself. So if you install Apex, you install the product, you get a product, and you can use it as you want. So Apex can use APIs. You can also expose APIs with Apex. And I think in next releases, there will be a lot more capabilities on top of that. But we still use ORDS directly to expose the REST APIs that we want and to configure the security on that level also. That were all the questions. Are there still any questions people may want to ask? So we have recorded this session. We will share the session on our website. I would assume that also everybody subscribed will get an email with all the necessary information on that. Then I would really thank you for your attention. If you want to learn something more on one of the products we mentioned here, being it your forms to the cloud, or you want to discuss on what to use as infrastructure or security or integration between different data centers, or you want to have a look at this new development capabilities within the Oracle Cloud, don't hesitate, call us, send us an email, whatever, get in touch with us, and we will sit together and see what's the best solution for your circumstances. And then I would like to thank all my speakers today. Thomas van Biggenhout from Oracle, thanks a lot for your time and for presenting the new state of Oracle Forms. Also, Olivier, thanks a lot for your insights in the different infrastructure components. And thank you, Sandra, for really organizing this event. So here you have our contact information. So please shoot if there's still any questions. You may shoot them now. I see one extra. No, not a question. Okay. Then I think we can wrap it up, Sandra.
Yes, I want to thank everybody for joining today. I think my team and then Thomas gave you some good insights on how to bring your forms environment to the cloud and how we can assist it at contribute. So as Philip mentioned, if you want to reach out, you know where to find us. You can either contact Philip or myself or Pascal. I think there are a lot of contact persons within your network today. So thanks for your attention and for your presence, and hope to talk to you soon. And Philip, thank you for your presentation and your insights today.
You're welcome.